unity in your thought, word and speech. Whatever you think also is a little sankalpa. You have to follow it. It has to be in sync. That's when, your chitta shuddhi happens, and your purity in your action. With what bhava are you singing? With what bhava are you giving somebody something? The purity of the thought is what it was. And divinity, don't let go of this divinity wherever it is. Be it in your work life. Sairam, my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. A new chapter was, had started in my life, and what happened there was, again, I was very focusing on my career. Life became very mechanical, because that was, your early 20s, you're trying to work, and I was all set to get transferred to the US. That's when my mother came and said that, you're not going far from home. You have to settle down before you go any further, because this itself is very far away from home. So I had to listen to her, and my grandfather advised, a lot of rebellious. I was not happy, but then of course, you have to listen to the elders, and I did follow that. That was again ingrained in you because of Swami. So then again, then only I realized the grace of Swami. Even though I did not actually go and say thank you to Swami for so much of grace he has given me, I realized all that after moving to Singapore, that physical presence of Swami was not there. But then I got married into this lovely Sai family, who were actually practicing whatever Swami had told. Complete discipline, saying the Brahmarpanam, or the way they cooked their food, chanting the Swami's name, even the prayers, everything, saying the Aarti before eating, and running a little mini Balvikas class to whoever children who came. They were literally practicing Swami's teachings, staying so far away from home. That actually, really opened my eyes. And that's when I realized Swami's, absolute grace on me, that even though I was not thanking him, he never let go of my hand. And he only made it stronger with all this. Of course, anything, there were challenging moments. I was not as disciplined as many people here, but then slowly grew on me, and then that helped in me in bringing up my children as well. So again, my koti pranams at the lotus feet of Swami only for this, I would say. And there's many, I was never an avid reader. I would only read fictional books. For hours I would sit and read and complete an entire book within 24 hours, big fat books. But Swami's messages, teachings were only those little, hurt never, help ever, hurt never. All of these sayings were all etched in my memory because of my grandfather, who take the trouble actually to write them, laminate them and stick, and also get all kinds of stickers from Parthi every visit, and not one single place was left. I must say, even in the bathroom mirrors it was stuck, so that you would not miss it. So by reading them, unknowingly I knew all of these words, but what was the true essence? We would just chant and say them without realizing the inner meaning. And that's when I think divine grace of Swami again came into my life, that when I saw all of these wonderful books around me here in Singapore, my husband's family, they were avid readers, including my father-in-law. Sometimes he would give a book. If it was my father, I would have said, no, I will not read it now. But being from my father-in-law, unknowingly I started reading, be it Bhagavad Gita, Viveka Chudamani, Yoga Vashishta, and I can name a lot. And then all of these Swami's teachings and sayings made sense, because he was many a time saying in Telugu, and there was a translation. I was probably not, going in depth, but then these one-liners actually started making a lot of meanings. So deep they were. So for an example, I would say Swami's one-liner again, beautiful rhymic ones, right? Unity, purity, divinity is the path for your self-awakening, he would say. At the time, what is unity, what is purity, didn't make any sense. Then when I read all of this, especially from Viveka Chudamani, I learned, right? unity in your thought, word and speech. Whatever you think also is a little sankalpa. You have to follow it. It has to be in sync. That's when, your chitta shuddhi happens, and your purity in your action. With what bhava are you singing? With what bhava are you giving somebody something? The purity of the thought is what it was. And divinity, don't let go of this divinity wherever be it in your work life, carry that Swami's teachings and blessings and whatever messages, so that you will do your actions properly, and surrender everything to the lotus feet of Swami. So this actually started making sense after coming to Singapore, and again I would say only by the grace of Swami that I have actually started reading all of these books, and it's making sense to me. Mananam is happening now, and then I would only pray and beg Swami to give me more such opportunities, so that I will start practicing them and doing the Nitidhyasana that we call it, so that I can be in constant thought of Swami's teachings, and then grow more in the spiritual path. I offer all of this at the lotus feet of Swami. Again, thank you so much. Sairam.